I'm just going to share my screen and kind of let you know what we are doing with the Festival of Financial Wellbeing. So yeah, let's get started, kind of hopefully tell you why we've done it, what it's going to involve for students, what it's going to involve for universities. So we'll get cracking. So the reason why we kind of came to have the idea for the Festival of Financial Wellbeing, I suppose I don't need to remind anybody kind of what the last 18 months, 2 years have been like, and obviously have raised kind of lots of issues around money and financial well-being. But kind of coupled with that as well, we've been running webinars for our staff, kind of colleagues and people in different colleges and universities over the pandemic. But actually alongside that, we've also been running student webinars. So we've had over 3,000 kind of students engage with all of the different webinars. One of them was on credit scores, our most popular. Our most attended one was on mortgages. Students were interested to know, as well as kind of the investing kind of things, as well as financial planning. So we kind of see the convergence of all of those things, and really kind of helped us to think about what we wanted to put together to help you, to support your students kind of during this year of people kind of hopefully coming back to campus and coming back to some normality from what we saw before. And obviously this was coupled with kind of the research we did on kind of mental health and financial well-being, and nearly 50% of students telling us that they're thinking about dropping out because of money, and that people are saying that obviously they're worried about finances. And so we wanted to kind of hopefully give them a comprehensive kind of experience. So this is why we created the Festival of Financial Wellbeing. The more we've spoken to students, our webinars with them were always led by them. And so we really wanted to kind of hopefully create a rounded experience about them with their financial well-being, and hopefully allow any student at any point in their kind of financial knowledge, their financial journey, or knowing what they want about their finances, hopefully gives them the opportunity to kind of learn something new and help them along. So we wanted to hopefully give them that base for them to be successful both during their time and their studies, as well as kind of preparing them for life beyond that. So because we wanted to give more of a holistic view, we've kind of looked at the 4 building blocks for financial well-being, and therefore we have 4 blocks which each comprise a week. So first we'll kind of do get, which obviously is about looking at generating income, whether that be about jobs and interview prep, and as well as their kind of side hustles and maybe starting their own business and everything that kind of goes along with that. So week 1 will be about kind of get. The second week will be about building that. So whilst we appreciate that students may not always want to kind of do the budgeting and kind of emergency fund, obviously it's very vital, but we don't want to make just the festival about that. So we've kind of got each of these components, hopefully, to build on top of each other. Week 3 becomes about growing your money, which again, we'll kind of look at investing and looking at the different ways and things for students to think about that. And then the last week on top of that is kind of protect. So obviously thinking about the scams, being conscious of the things that might be happening, as well as the kind of financial crime and coercion. And then obviously for them to think about how they protect themselves against that. And obviously is that like looking at the insurance, making sure things kind of work for them. So hopefully they are our 4 kind of building blocks, and each of those blocks represented a week. We felt that it was kind of such a strong kind of message that we didn't want to put that all into 1 week. I know that last year we kind of had that month of activity, and that really seemed to fit well for students, to give them the time to access and really kind of think about their financial well-being. So kind of the first, what's in it for students as part of the festival. So for each week, so each of those blocks that I've told you, there'll be a webinar each week on that theme that they can come and be involved in. Alongside that is our digital guide, which will kind of be a full kind of ebook, which will represent each of the different areas, like say each of the different blocks, which will kind of give some education, some suggestions, kind of hopefully then give them links to other things once they've got a basis of where they want to look next. Kind of something new for this year is kind of the learning content on Blackbullion. So for the festival, for those 4 weeks, students will be able to access learning on our platform. There'll be one pathway, so one video element related to each week, which will be available to them for the duration of for the festival. Alongside that sit prizes, and they will be related to each of the weeks, whether that, like I say, will be a value for insurance for them and protect, all the way to actually having one-to-one sessions available as a prize with accredited financial advisors. So kind of really making sure the prizes sit alongside the themes for each of those weeks and each of those blocks. And then we will also have kind of a central place. We'll have a Festival of Financial Wellbeing website, which will kind of house all of these for them being able to obviously book themselves onto webinars. There'll be the digital guide informing them where they can go to kind of access the learning. So all of that will kind of be through the main website. And I'm actually quite proud of myself that now Festival of Financial Wellbeing does seem to roll off the tongue. So just to kind of give you guys, did I go too many? Yeah, I did. So kind of giving you guys a timeline. Obviously today we will launch kind of our order form, so kind of online order form for people to be able to participate in the festival. Hopefully the wonderful people on here who are already within the Blackbullion community, we ask that you fill this out as well. The festival is part of the offering that you have as part of being part of our community, as well as obviously those people not currently with Blackbullion can get involved just for the festival on its own. So orders will open today, and we're looking for a deadline for the 17th of December to kind of make sure everybody's set up and ready to go. One of the things that isn't in here, it will be on another screen, is to say that there will be another webinar in January, 11th of January, to be able to, for those that are participating, to kind of have a ready-made kind of hints, tips, tricks, questions webinar where we can go through anything to do with the festival that staff may have questions about, or just helping people through all of the materials that they will have. So the festival goes live on Monday, the 31st of January, and then we'll run for each of the 4 weeks. And then you can hear we have when those weeks are, and then when the webinar for each of those weeks will go ahead. And with the last day being the Friday, the 25th. So there's a timeline. Again, this information will be available to you after this webinar. So how can institutions kind of get involved? Any universities, colleges that want to partake in the Festival of Financial Wellbeing would just need to order their participation pack. The cost of that for everything that you've seen and what I'll tell you that you get for the universities will be £199 plus VAT to partake in the festival. So, and then just to give you the amount with VAT added on, as I had said, those people that are already partners with Blackbullion, it is part of the campaigns package that you get. Is kind of in there included, but again, just ask you to fill out the form so we kind of are aware who's taking place and make sure all of the setups that ready for you and your students. And then we'll kind of just give you what's in your participation pack. So hopefully you know what your students are getting, but actually what kind of comes with that as part of that pack. So anybody that's kind of hopefully worked with us previously, kind of we will give you those ready-made comms for you to engage with your students. So the email templates, social media posts, our wonderful design team obviously make sure that they're in the formats that people need. There will be the website, which will give people a central place to be able to kind of sign up, get the guide, as well as obviously access to the learning content. One of the things hopefully that we have introduced this year, which is new, we'll create a press release for you, which will be done by a PR professional, which will hopefully help you to kind of get the word out there about the festival. Again, I touched on in the first point, as well as kind of those comms to students, it's all of the digital imagery for promotion. So before, during the campaign, again, we tend to produce a whole pack that hopefully will sit across the different platforms and the different sizes for images, as well as people's TV screens they might need, as well as hopefully all of you, if anything different needed, people can always kind of get in touch with me and ask if there's different kind of file formats that are needed. And then, as I said, there will be the kind of kickoff webinar, which will be for staff to come along to. You'd have had all of the information in the participation pack. If there's any other questions, kind of thoughts, comments, we'll always kind of go through the festival and kind of kick that off for you in January. So hopefully that kind of gives you all of the information about that. Oh, my screen is like pixelated. I don't know if you're on the next screen. Then it might be my internet. Ah, here we go.
Got it now.
The next steps. Yeah, it's weird. It was kind of doing it one square at a time. So really, that is it in a nutshell. You'll be able to order your participation pack today. I believe Rosie will kind of put the link in the chat there for you. And then obviously just to say that the kickoff webinar will be on Tuesday the 11th. Again, we tend to now record these kind of sessions so we know that not everybody can attend on certain days, but hopefully kind of everyone will get the information that they need. So I don't know if Rosie, there's been any questions in the chat, anything people...
Yeah, we just had one question about whether this will be replacing National Student Money Week.
Okay, so this is a Blackbullion campaign, so absolutely not. I believe National Student Money Week is our third week. I think NASMA just put that out. So no, absolutely doesn't kind of replace that. This is a Blackbullion for those already in the community. We create, there are normally campaigns within the year anyway. We kind of put all of this together with feedback from students. Hopefully, if we get to collaborate with NASMA for National Student Money Week, again, that would be obviously something that we would welcome. We've been working with them for a number of years, but no, it doesn't replace it. This is just a Blackbullion offering. And just because we heard from so many students, we thought that this was not only for our community who can take part, we were doing this alongside. So I think it's our third week, which is our Grow Week for the festival. And I believe the NASMA is sustainable spending. So hopefully, if anything, would nicely complement each other.
Thanks, Danielle. Just one further question at the moment, which is about when will everyone receive the comms emails and the participation pack?
So it will be kind of like, say, that first week back of January, which is why we just have the deadline for everybody to make sure we knew who everybody is by December, but at the beginning of January.